Hey, what's up guys? Luke here, owner of ML Lawn Care. Welcome back to our training series, how to properly lay down mulch. So as you guys can see here, we've already done all the prep work. It's ready for mulch. We did the shrubs, we did the weeding, we did the edging of the beds, and we laid down some preen. It's all buttoned up, ready to go. You know, as you go through and you do your cleanup before mulch, it doesn't have to necessarily be, you know, picture perfect because mulch is going down on top. Obviously do a great job cleaning up, but it's not like we're not laying mulch down, not covering up. We are going to be covering up this with mulch. It's going to look nice and uniform when we're done. Okay, so one thing to be super mindful of when you are laying down mulch is edges and plant bases. One, on the edges of the mulch bed, you want to make sure that you're not filling it up, like capping it to the capacity. You still want to see that defined edge. One, for you know, professionalism or curb appeal. When you're driving by, it looks a lot nicer, and when the customer sees it, it looks a lot nicer. But two, also, if you maintain this property, you don't want to be trimming mulch at the very edge of the bed. If you can kind of tuck it away, keep it down, it just makes things a lot easier. Second is plants. You want to make sure at the base of these plants that you are not like piling mulch up, or you're not throwing mulch on top of this. Keep it a very thin layer at the base of the plant so that it can still receive water and nutrients. See, as we go through here, it's just a little top layer by the base of the plants, but it's about 2.5 inches thick elsewhere. Depending on the specific notes for the job, the thickness of the mulch may vary from property to property, but always at the base of plants, keep it thin. We'll pull up the dailies a little bit, make sure we get up underneath there. Just a light layer. So you want like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch at the base, and then you kind of build up to the thickness of the job that you're doing. Kind of taper it, give it the fade. See there, it's not very thick at the base or there, but when you test it right here, got about a couple inches there, which is, that's all we're doing here for this property, is just 2 inches of mulch. So look here, we just dumped the mulch bag right here. We got about 5 to 6 inches of mulch. One thing to really keep in mind is the property line, the line on the house. You want this to be nice and even, thin up against the house as well. Treat it like a plant. You want to spread it out, have it nice and even all along the foundation of the property. All the mulch areas, you want to be nice, flat, even. You want to be able to, you know, look across it, not see any mounds. It's just an eyesore. You want the customer to come home, be able to see it, and just be happy with the work that you did. Alright guys, so I previously said try and keep it nice and even along the house. You want to follow a line, a mortar line on the bricks if you can. However, you know, look here, it kind of tapers off down here. You don't want to follow that line. It's going to get to about 8 inches tall right here. You want to keep the nice 2-inch layer, 3-inch layer, whatever specific for the job. Keep that taper going off, follow that line. So you want to be able to look when you're done and see a nice even line going across the front. Working our way to the front of the bushes here, you see I dumped out the mulch bag and we got some mulch up here in the bushes. Before you spread, you want to just make sure you shake them out. Don't have any mulch left in those bushes. It's just not a good look. Make it look clean, professional. When we're done, we got a couple mounds here. I'm going to spread this nice and even. Again, keeping it away. We're keeping it thin at the base of these plants. Start over. In some cases, spreading mulch, you can find yourself up next to a house, hand up against the side, bending over and spreading. You got to be mindful of your surroundings. Take note of your areas. We just got a black handprint on the side of the house. That's a, you know, not a clean look. So if something like that does happen, stop what you're doing, grab a rag, wipe it down. If you don't, it's going to get forgotten. You want to make sure that the property is nice and clean when we're done. Do it right away when something like that happens. Okay guys, when you bring your mulch in, you always want to make sure when you dump it or when you place it in the bed initially, leave a good 6 to 8 inches away or clearance from the edge. That's because when you go to spread it, you want to just gently bring it up to the edge. You don't want to be filling the edge up, as I mentioned earlier. You want to keep it off the edge, keep that nice defined line. And again, if we're maintaining this property, we got to trim this grass. We don't want to be trying to trim grass when there's mulch right there. Shoot mulch back at us, shoot mulch back in the yard. Keep that away, be mindful of that. We just got all this mulch spread right here. Just want to go over the edge real quick, push it back, kind of fluff it with the hand. Do that nice clean line. Okay guys, we just finished up this mulch job here. Just 3 things we want to check. First off, want to make sure everything's nice and level, nice even. There's no mounds left over when we're done. Everything's, you know, spread even. You can run your hand through it, make sure everything's good. Reach down, check that the mulch is spread to the length specified in the notes, the height specified in the notes. And then last but not least, you want to check the edges. Make sure they're, you know, fluffed up nice and tight away so you can see the defined line all the way around the property. You can see here we've already gone through, we got a nice clean edge. One other thing that you're going to want to check is that none of the plants are buried. We got a thin layer of mulch around the base. Everything looks good and clean. Look at here, we got a little leaf. Pull that guy up, spread that out a little bit. Every plant on the property looks good here. We went through and checked, and there, clear up my step. Let's look at the side of the house. You can look up the side of the house here. See, we got a pretty even line going, nothing too crazy. And we went over, we blew off the property, we took care of the rocks. Any place that was a little messy, a little dirty, the sidewalks, the mulch pile, the walkways, just go over, blow that off, make sure everything's nice and clean, uniform when we're done. You guys are good to go.